not like reimburse people for gas if we're making them drive for university purposes? Like,
right.
Do
Correct.
they need to drive the Central State Mobile?
Right.
The charter buses, I don't know if you've seen those.
I've seen them. We are able to get 15% more. That's part of it. Yeah. And then with that, I get paid to create 3 classes. One is Intro to Horticulture Therapy, Dr. Hunt will teach. The other 2 is permaculture. 1, permaculture, 2, to get certified in permaculture.
What is that?
That is one of the best certifications I've ever gotten in my life. They have it at UC because my little brother teaches it. That's what's so funny about it. So I wonder if there's just a easy.
There you go.
That's good. This is it's
sustainable.
It's amazing.
Is any system
my brother went here
in its lifetime can produce more energy than it takes to establish and maintain
it. Grow your own food, you capture your own water, energy, and you're self-sufficient on your own.
Is the first system of conscious functional design in the world. That's its unique aspect. And functional design is sustainable.
My brother learned from Bill Mollison. He died.
Permaculture was a concept that Bill Mollison and I worked on in the 70s. Today we call sustainability. It was based on a simple question related to the design of agriculture. If most of nature is dominated by perennial plants, trees and other long-lived plants, why is our agriculture dominated by human crops?
They have a license.
Let's follow the design rules of nature.
So true.
We've got used to the idea that for any sort of key problem or important activity, there's one big solution that trumps all others, and some version of it ends up everywhere.
My brother went there.
Really?
Australia. Yeah.
So like he was personally mentored like by them
with
and like
nature.
learned from them?
And
He got certified by them and he brought it to the University of Cincinnati. He's taught as a course and now you can get certified as a course there. And he has teach the teacher, train the trainer in UC, and he started the Cincinnati Permaculture Institute. So
this is just about like sustainability and like I know like people that like collect the rainwater and then they use that rainwater to like go back into their crops and then like
that is
just like a cycle of like saving the resources.
That is a big piece of it. There are 9 core principles, which is funny. It's like the 9 social work core competencies, but these guys do have like as you get into it, like there's a whole book.
That's super cool.
It's very detailed, and then he has a degree in design. He was going to design cars, and when he got into that, he wanted to make a bunch of money. And I brought him to Nicaragua, and then he saw what was going on down there, and he kind of had his little awakening experience, and he wanted to do different and more. So he went. He actually got a plane ticket around the world and stopped at some of these, and he's like. He wanted to do this in 2006, and he got his master's of design. He's tenure track at UC now with his master's. It's a terminal degree. And he teaches what he calls sustainable design. Because usually design is the opposite, and they have planned obsolescence, and your shit breaks, and you got to buy more, but that's how you make money. Same with the seeds. When he's like, why are all of these annual vegetables? And in nature, everything's a perennial. It comes back, there's cycles, and it's because Monsanto wants to own the patent to the seed and sell it to you. That's really what it is. So I'll see. I know there's 2 minutes left. We'll see if he mentions the principles of permaculture.
Local situation. See, the design solutions are all different.
When you look at a whole system, there are 2 things very undesirable. One is work, and the other one is pollution. Pollution is a product of work. Work is a result of not supplying every component of your system with its needs. let's put that away. If you did it, put a tank on your chicken house, you've got to carry water to the chicken. So you incur work. Now, if you don't collect the eggs from the chicken house, that's pollution. So pollution is an unused resource. It didn't go somewhere where it would be used.
It was actually the whole way we're related to nature. And so human settlement, the design of houses, the way we organise everything in society is a part of that.
It comes from two Latin words, permanence, to persist indefinitely, and culture, the practices that support human occupation. Put those together, it's a persistent system that supports human existence.
We eat food, we grow a garden, and we grow the food in the garden and bring those things back together, rather than the industrial system, which stretches everything out in these long supply chains.
Another thing which is also extraordinarily intriguing, when you design well, nature takes hold of what you've done and does better.
So another part of it is they try to make your design of your home where, like, in your kitchen, right next to the kitchen, you'll have close to it the garden. They call it like zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4. And the stuff that maybe if you chop wood to heat, that's in zone 5 way out here. But if you get chicken eggs every day, you got your chickens close by the kitchen window, you throw them the scraps, they eat it, they produce eggs. So it's all about inputs and outputs and having ideally as little human work as possible that can produce the most outputs.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's why they keep showing the design pictures.
So permaculture is really a design system for both sustainable land use and sustainable living.
It's quite the simplest thing to say is an attempt to build a good place to live.
So I know that doesn't really solidly answer your question in a very
No,
direct.
I get what it is. No, that's actually very interesting. So, do you grow some of your own fruits and vegetables?
Absolutely. I do. I wish I did more, but I have so little time to do a lot of things that I definitely do
For sure,
a lot
like,
less than.
Who wants to till the soil and
Yeah.
snip leaves and
Right. Yeah. So there's even, well, they probably have the 9 core principles. Yeah. There's like the zones. So you got like your garden and chickens. I'm trying to remember. Usually that's for like maybe long grown
it's
house.
like sustainable homesteading.
It is. It really, really is. And then the idea is.
I got a question.
This
is like really personal. How much did it cost to put solar panels on your house?
It was. I bet you I have it here because I just put it into, and I have to move it to my new house very soon. So it was called Fed Solar Papers. There they are. And I don't want that one because I did it most recently here. It was like $2.10 per watt. When I first did them, they were $6 a watt. Now $2.10 per watt was way better. So
9,000.
Probably that I got
That's not
back.
Bad.
That I also got, federal tax credit, and then so I think it was
That 9,000.
Yeah,
That's not bad at all. No, because honestly, I thought like it was about to be absurd. So why don't more people do it?
There are companies that are ripping people off.
Okay.
So this is what I think is more geothermal. You make 17% return on investment with the. Did I do it here? That's probably it. This makes 17% return on investment. Solar only makes 5% return on investment. So people like to make more than 5% a year. Right now, you could just sit your money in the bank and make 4%.
Right.
Doing nothing. So people don't like the idea of solar cradle to cradle. This one was also 20, and I got back the different things. You get 30% back. I don't know if that's right.
house.
But that pays itself off in 4.5 years. Solar takes like 12 to 15 years
That's
to pay
not
itself.
even that bad though. Like,
Right,
think about, like,
yeah.
how much you spend monthly, like, on electricity. Like, it eventually pays itself off.
Yeah,
And it's
agree.
more sustainable.
And I'm
which I
moving
like.
these with me, so I like that. I'm moving my
So-
panels.
Your house doesn't have them currently.
It currently does, and then they're building a new house, and when that's built on New
You're
Year's, I'm
building a
moving.
house.
Yeah, well, I'm paying a builder.
Okay, so
And that was the cheapest way to buy a house.
You chose the land, or you're getting like a new build construction.
It's in Shaker Run, which is like the Middletown exit off I-75.
Okay.
That would be nice if I chose the land, but that is so expensive. Usually builders like to have all
That's
of
what
it
I'm saying.
right.
Like, I know, like, you can go in and like you can look to see like what the new build is, and like you can see like the examples, but you can like.
Yes,
customize
you
it.
need the
Is that what you
blueprint.
did?
We did kind of, and then they buy the rate down, so it was the cheapest way to build a house right now.
Yeah.
And if I bought in Coleraine, it would have all been way more, as they don't buy the rate down in Coleraine. We were going to buy again in Coleraine. It was absurd. I was like,
For sure, because I told you my neighbor just like sold her house,
and
she
it was a
like-
lot.
No, she actually like sold it for pretty cheap. Like, she could have gotten more for it, but they're old, retired, and they own the lake house.
Okay, yeah.
So it's more like they just needed to get rid of their house.
Here's our update.
Hi. Who's the pretty girl? Who's the pretty baby? Oh, you working something out? Who's the cute girl? Who's the cute girl?
I heard James screaming.
What you doing? What you doing?
Does he have like a
You
little
smile
setup
again?
thing?
A couple things.
No, you found him in them. Oh, great.
Oh, so I think I have.
Are you gonna smile?
My grandmother has 13 grandchildren,
Okay, that's what my dad just hit.
and mind you, almost all of them are like significantly younger than me because
Yeah,
my mom.
you're the oldest.
My mom is the oldest sibling.
Okay. Okay.
And like they're so young, and like it's like the noise of children because I helped like not
Mhm.
raise, but like I was like a big part of like some of my cousins' life,
Yeah.
especially like during COVID, because most of my family like they work in like home health aides, nurses in nursing homes. So I basically raised their small child while they worked during the pandemic.
That is impressive, actually. These were also the weekend I didn't show you. I said, James! Oh, he is. Oh, no. Bad.
Tom, no! No! Bad baby, no! No. I'm gonna make some beer run after.
Happy
birthday, dear Pete.
I think like they know they're not supposed to have it.
I guess so. I don't know. But should we give them a few more minutes and then you're running off of this or your computer?
I don't care. I can just wait until next week until there are people here. Like at least I wrote it. So
True.
that-
Okay. No, I like that. I like that idea. I was told, somebody told me this idea that after homecoming, a lot of folks don't show. Is that true in a lot of classes?
So yeah, I've definitely like seen it in all of my classes personally. And I don't, for me, like I struggle to relate because I don't understand why, because I don't
Right.
think like them.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I paid for this. Well, technically I didn't, but like, you know what I mean? Like it's a part of like the cost. That's why you're
Yeah, I
here.
know, because people are.
And then like I just met a lot of stupid people. I'm sorry.
I know it is unfortunate. Oh, look, he gave me he said, I've saved the IRB approved in the award and drafted amendment for the release of $520,000 in the remaining award amount. Revisions to 2 CFR regulations were implemented on 10/1/24.
So at the beginning of it.
I don't know what he's talking about. As soon as we receive guidance from our review team. Okay, so he had something revised. I will forward the amendment for final approval. Thanks again. So I don't think I have to. You always have to make sure you don't have to do anything.
No, it's like, all right. I'm like, is this an update or are you telling me actually there's something to do?
And it is too many things, but that's how I always saw academia. Like that's what people do is too many things. And so I know that some don't agree with that approach, and I don't know how else we get our students a lot of opportunities then. So that's why
For sure.
I think we need more. So here is geothermal, and it cost overall
I think it was up there, like further.
like 20 grand. And I got 7 back. So it was like 13 grand, but then it pays itself off in 4.5 years.
So like, do you to replace a panel, like hypothetically, if something happened, like whether like, do you,
Yeah, they do warranty the panels.
for how long?
I was told 25 years.
Oh, okay, cool.
That is a good question, however, because that's not the one I wanted. I have to be logged into where I am, which is this one. And I was told if I move them, I might not keep my warranty. So I'm going to try to buy a few on this new, if I can, like buy a few more. Here's what my system kind of looks like. And then they show you what you've produced, which I think is cool. Well, I've had them on 4 homes. I had Kentucky, Kennedy Heights, Coleraine, and now this new house. So that'll be the 4th. Here's my little system. And then they give you your graph of what you've produced, which I think is cool. And then they even tell you like how many trees you've saved. I always thought that was cool, but it's kind of geeky. So
That is super cool. So, have you ever like experienced like any problems with any of them?
in Kentucky, I got hit by lightning.
You?
Yeah, the
Or
panels
your body?
did. The panels. So, and I was in the upstairs. So it was literally like I could have touched where it struck the panels in the upstairs. And somebody's doing another presentation. She's like, I'm home because I'm sick, but here's my presentation. And the baby's acting like an asshole. Told James he's not getting the bounce house. He's acting like an asshole. Neither of them are nappy.
Like when they don't sleep, that's the worst.
I know. That's how he got.
And you can tell, and then they were like, they don't want to go to sleep, and then they're fighting it.
Right.
And they're being like little.
So how many did you raise that age and up? Did you have 5 at a time ever, or 4 at a time? 'Cause I would
most
lose.
at a time was 3.
It makes you lose your mind.
Yeah, most at a time was 3.
Did you ever get paid for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they paid me.
That's nice. That's
But
helpful.
no, I had a period of time, and I want to say they were.
They were bad.
Yes, they were 2, 3, and I watched her from when she was like 2 months all the way up until she was like a year old.
Okay,
And they're
yeah.
all siblings.
So you had the whole pandemic, and they're like, "Hey."
Like I'm telling you, like the baby's crawling around, and she tried to eat the dog. Oh, and they had a dog. They had a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Try to eat the dog food, like.
Mhm.
And I'm like.
I have that every day, and he keeps dumping it out. It
And then like
pisses me
their
off.
little fists are so tight, and I'm like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've actually. I'm sure my wife's not watching, but like I've just given up on the cat food and the snacks. Like what I'll do, he'll eat it, and I don't even find him. I'm like, dude, if you spit that out, I'll give you this gummy bear fruit snack, and usually he'll, because I would think a fruit snack's better than a dog treat for a human,
Right.
but I could be wrong. So usually he spits it out, but you have to like find different ways to get it out of them.
Yeah, or like the 2 of them, they were just so bad. So I don't know, what was I doing? I think the baby had a blowout. And mind you, I'm like, great, like, because it ended up getting on me.
So you had to change all the diapers.
Yeah, so like, I'm like, you just pooped on me, basically, because it came out like everywhere and I was holding her. So I'm changing her, and I go to check it on them, and they're in their room. And they had climbed on top of furniture and had opened the window. And were trying to jump out the window. When I tell you, I literally like, and I'm a calm person.
Well, and
but
that
I
is
about lost my mind.
part of my problem too, is that like
A little rat.
she says I'm too relaxed, and then too slow, and I guess she's showing us the. Tom is our second middle boy.
You're so tired, aren't you? You sleepy boy. Careful, you're gonna hit your head on the windowsill. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay?
The 3-year-old.
Yeah, go play with James, okay?
He's
Get back
refusing
room.
Diapers and pre-3. You have to end diapers to go into pre-3.
What, is he still in diapers?
He is.
Is it because like
He's lazy.
no? That's what
He's
I'm
late.
saying. Sometimes like you control it, and sometimes like it's like they don't want to.
Right, yeah. He's so we've been sitting at my mom's, that's why I sent my mom's house. I know that drives her insane. She's probably trying to get the baby to sleep. Then he has to sleep next. And then James has to sleep. But if they don't sleep, it's like
All hell breaks loose at like 4 p.m.
and that's what happened last night. And I took him to the creek. He stepped on a stick. It broke off in his foot. It was bleeding everywhere. He's got a splinter in his foot, And I know Nikita is just getting to where her son is mobile. So that's challenging.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What else? I was doing answers for how to write a clinical note, how to write, which I know you guys have seen this before.
Mhm.
We do this with groups too. When you assess, you can say you should do the trauma group, or we assess and say you could do.
I have like a question. So
Yeah.
you are still doing like private practice, like
I do.
individual.
I do.
How like do you plan for like sessions before you go into them? Like what is that layout like? Like do you just sit there until they say something to you? Or-
I
because-
often
Yeah.
lead it with their goals. That way, if they're not a talker and that happens, I hate when they're like,
just like
no talk is the worst, but it happens. And so I kind of go with the goals. I'll do with like highs and lows of the week, almost how you guys lead Girls Circle. Sometimes you'll have somebody talk so much you won't even get to the goals. And it's like, let's see if I can find some examples of that too. Headway. This is one private practice I just got onto.
you just started something else? Is this like online?
It is online. So I only added one additional slot for this. I think it's like Tuesday. So Tuesday at 11. And then I have Grow. 5408. So
And
a lot
how
of
much you
times,
get from this?
if I get a client, which these people don't recruit for you. Oh, look at that. I almost got my Medicare done. If I get Medicare, it's like 119 now, and I think they give you about 95%. So that would be way more than right now.
Well, like
I
you
get.
have to like go through like trainings
I think
to
I
be able
do.
to take Medicare.
I think I do. There's always something.
What
you
that doesn't
can-
even make sense though, because aren't they just normal people?
Yeah, I think they're trying to tell you about Medicare fraud. People that lie about seeing their clients and then they get busted and go to prison. So they're just trying to like.
Oh, they're saying that they will bill them, but like they didn't actually see them.
It happens all the time. There's a lot of dishonesty. So like that's why it's so important. I was like clicking through quickly because dang, they don't let you.
Yeah, it's gonna be left.
So that's one that I'm on. Let's stack them. I also am on Grow. Let me, just in case, I'm going to end this.